Peace, peace, peace. NFOMURK, the code breaker, right back. This is going to be a little something in between the Let's Start Here sequence that I'm going through right now, right? I was meditating on a few things, right? And one of the things that came interesting to me, maybe it'd be interesting to y'all. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm trying to get the ambiance right and all that. But anyway, in my mind, I took it all the way back to a state of nothing, right? And just absolute nothing, whatever you could imagine nothing to be. And the laws of physics that go into this particular realm is saying opposites attract, right? So in order for the opposites to attract, and we secretly attract that which we don't want, right? So if opposites attract, the moment that, let's say, the creator opened its eyes, it was seeing everything it didn't want to see, because opposites attract. So now we would go under the construct of saying, all right, let's speed it up a little bit, right? So if opposites attract, that means one person would have a memory, would have movement, would have, I'm saying person, but one thing, and this one person for the sake of conversation, right? Would have memory, movement, sight, color, sound. It would have everything the other component doesn't have, right? So then it would have to make a correspondent so the other thing can be considered in the equation, right? So now these correspondents would be like lights. It would be like a light because it's darkness, right? So it'd be like a light, right? They call that light a star, right? Now, once the other component, once the other side of you, once the opposite of you agrees to use this component, this star as a point of reference in which we can now build dialogue on, right? To now describe the need in which opposites attract, because at one point in opposition and complete opposites, and that's the most extreme part of that opposite, there have to be an agreement where they say, I need you. And love is a use, hate is a use as the opposite of love. So they both active words. So if one could apply love in that ladder bridge between the diametrically opposing points and coming together for a need, a common goal, then that's when opposites truly attract, is because there has to be some form of intelligence agreement to what would make the opposite want to not continue going further and further apart. You understand? With that said, these correspondents that we have been left with now are the stars, right? And men, billions of years, probably, yeah, man, billions of years have articulated these stars. And as the times go, different agendas and different needs and wants, they learn how to manipulate those who didn't understand the purpose of the star. And some of us have no clues to the stars, but it's no coincidence that, you know, each and every one of us look up at the heavens every so often when you're driving your car. You see the moon, you see the sunset, you see the stars. You ever go on vacation somewhere out in the city and you just see how many stars is out there. You're like, wow, this is crazy. And it just makes you think, it makes you wonder, it makes you wonder. And from throughout your whole life, throughout the scripture, right? Now with the scripture, I was taking a cab ride years ago, and there was an elder. He was giving me a ride. He had what you would call Masonic memorabilia on, right? And I asked him a few questions, and I asked him, why scripture? Like, why, you know, all these different religions, why would they use scripture? And he was like, scripture is a way to preserve the story. And you know, I don't, at this point when I'm dealing with knowledge, I don't say anything is wrong or right. I try to consider it all and weave it in to my understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Because that person is a byproduct of the all, and what he or she sees and thinks can affect the way I traverse through the all too. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be a racist to be affected by racism. You don't have to be a gangbanger to be affected by gang stuff. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I meant. You know what I mean? So said they preserve the story. So that sat with me for a long time. And as I get older and I'm going through my quest for the truth, I see some of the stuff mirroring scripture. And I was like, oh, I get it. I even told y'all I try to talk from that type of way. Like, I'm trying to talk as clean and as carry this information all the way through your gauntlet, and you'll say, damn, it holds up every way through. And another thing I try to do is energize us with the intel. None of this stuff, I'm so enthusiastic about what I'm doing right now, how I feel right now, that I kind of want to pass it to you guys, right? And I want you guys to have that same, like, overzealous feeling, zealous with a Z, right? Overzealous feeling of like, wow, there's so much more, so much. What is so much more? And then the spooky part about it is men that study this, that spend their now. Whatever you do with your now is who you want to be, is who you are later, is who you are. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you are doing with your now is who you are. So there's people that studying now, the way the light move, the sound move, the stars move, the colors move, your body move, the days move, this and that move, and then they play with it. And they make stuff happen, whether they're forcing it to happen from all types of stuff. They come and tell you, oh, the law of attraction, the mind is a projection, this is a simulation, all this stuff they're telling you. But if you don't know how to interweave it into your own life, you'll just be standing there knowing about it, but not knowing how to apply it. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if I'm talking about chakras, and I'm talking about the days of the week, and I'm giving you the definition of magic, whatever you want to look at it, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. At some point in your journey, these words are going to come up to you, and the sooner we get abreast of these, the faster we can probably find a way out of this turmoil and strife that we're under. See what I'm saying? Hold on, cars are passing by. So yeah, it's so many, there's so many different ways they leave their fingerprint on what they're doing, and the creator also leaves his fingerprint on what they're doing. And as we study, all right, now let's get back to that what was I saying about opposites attract, right? In order for you to exist, you have to be the opposite of everything around you. So life means to resist, because you are a pocket of you are the complete opposite of everything around you. So you are to fuse you in what you are. And you're individual. Remember, individual. I'm going to tell you that's in meaning one, and dual. There's two in there. There's two components in you: mind, body, or spirit, body. Or what was the other one? Spirit and flesh, right? They're diametrically opposite. So if opposites attract, there has to be a component in between them that's making them stay together. That's just how you know the universe is made out of love, because it's only love that can make these things that you have no control of. Your spirit has a yearning to leave the body, and this is why it has pain as a way to keep the spirit trapped in. It has pleasure as a way to reward the spirit. This is probably metaphysical, esoteric knowledge on the spirit and flesh. It's probably very basic, and it probably gets more deep, more detail, and more symbols and words and ancient studies behind it. And this is what makes it such a beautiful thing, because the languages that came before, right? Now we're dealing with original language. The language is very vital. The language is very vital because the language resonates with you and how you see the rest of the world, right? They had a movie I was watching yesterday. I recommended to the community. It's called Arrival, and it's an alien movie with the stones that land. I think it's like 12 different places, and China, Russia, America, and they're going to show you how there's a network and how they communicate with them. But the gist of the story was the aliens was coming down to give humanity a new language to shape the way they see the future. You see, our language is so linear, it's so this way that we don't really consider nothing. It has such a savage undercurrent, because the savage is the one who brought English into this realm right here. English is such a double language. Like I'm gonna expound upon that on maybe part 4 or 5 on this. Let's start here. You understand what I'm saying to you? So the movie Arrival is hinting at some of the same stuff I'm saying. There's so many movies, so many symbols, there's so many everything that's hinting towards what I'm saying, and it's around us forever, and we don't know it. Once I help you see it, I think you should get like some type of, whoa, let me stop playing around. Let me start taking power in all these things. Let me start taking ownership in all these things. And none of these things is all mystical and designed to get you off your feet. Your feet are right here, planet on Earth. Your mind, your imagination is what you do next. Trust me when I'm telling you this. They are polluting your imagination. They are purposely pumping depression, anxiety, lethargic. They're scared, schizophrenic type behavior throughout the whole land is done that way. Your biggest product is sold off of fear, and that's a gun. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to understand this. This is how it works. So now let's get back to the opposite of the track. So now, as you go through all this in the beginning, the light, the this and that, the opposite now, that's now saying, I need you, right? How to express love and describe the beauty. How does one describe light to darkness? It has to describe the darkness around the light, or the darkness in the light, in order for the darkness to understand what light is, right? This is where it gets a little boom boom. But if you can meditate on that and really visualize that right there, right, you can see how the black woman is God. With that said, it's your boy NFOMURK. I know I lost you. I don't care. Get back, leave a like, and my Cash App shooting up there. I need some donations. Peace.